Hello, third grade. Back together again. Didn't get too many Togepi pictures last week. So apparently there's not a lot of Pokemon fans in third grade. I did get a lot of Patricks before that. So we're going to hop back to SpongeBob and we're going to do our little friend Plankton. Probably one of my favorite characters in SpongeBob world. Our little Plankton friend. So we're going to draw him. A lot of fun. I had fun drawing this thing the first time. So I'm going to erase this. You're obviously going to need a piece of paper, a pencil, and an eraser. And you're going to want to turn your You're going to want to turn your paper up and down because Plankton is tall and skinny. Get rid of him, and we'll do it together. Make sure that you are drawing lightly. Hopefully everybody is settling in. It's already May. Okay. Now, Plankton is almost 50% body and 50% antenna. So I'm not going to make my antenna as long as they are in my little picture here, because otherwise he's going to be too small. I know he is small, but we don't want to draw him that small. So I'm going to put his body a little bit more than halfway. So there's the bottom half of my paper. I'm going to go up a little bit higher. So the first shape you're going to make is a long, skinny, kind of like a pickle or hot dog shape. Right? So he is round. He's round on the top. I'm going to put a little bit of a curve into it. I don't want to make it straight. Plankton always has that slight little curve in his body. So it's kind of shaped like a pickle or a short hot dog. It could be a smidge smaller on the bottom than the top, but it really doesn't matter that much. And right about in the middle, well, maybe a little bit higher than the middle, is going to be his eye. His eye is the biggest part on his body. One big giant eye. So what I'm going to do is, there's the middle, slightly above the middle. I'm going to start with his eyelid. And his eyelid kind of curls around, goes down, and curls back around on the other side. And then we're going to come up and around, almost looks like a hat. I'll put a little line right there, a little detail for his eyelid. And the bottom part of his eye is actually larger than the eyelid. That's going to come like way down to like there. So starting a little bit inside the eyelid. That looks like a man wearing a hat. So this part here should be bigger than the eyelid we just made up there. And then inside that is going to be a nice big iris, nice big circle that is under the eyelid a little bit. And then it's going to be a very large reflection. Usually when we make reflections, they're very, very small. This is really big. It's a really big reflection inside there. None of this stuff is black, so I'm not coloring it in right now, but it can be a little confusing. Once you color it in, it will make a lot more sense. I actually do have a red marker. So I'll just do this now because it might make a little more sense what's going on. Now this reflection here stays white, believe it or not. The eye is the iris, excuse me, is red. Okay. Makes a little more sense. Above his eyelid is going to be a big eyebrow. I think I'm going to run out of room. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to steal a little bit off his eyelid. I'm going to have to chop that off because I need room for a big furry. It's going to follow the curve of the eyelid. Little jagged on the side. And that big eyebrow is black. Like that. And then he has this little, I don't know if it's a little wrinkle or whatever right up here. It's a little bit thick in the middle and a little skinny on the side. It's not an eyebrow because that's the eyebrow. So I'm not sure what that is. Just a little bit, a little detail, a little wrinkle. And then right under the eye is going to be his mouth. He's got like a grin going on. So just below, I'm going to move over here to the left side of my paper, pretty close to the side of his body. And this line is going to go down and over, down and over. Almost from one side of the body to the other. And then I'm going to start back over here again, and I'm going to go down and over. So pointy, gets wide, goes down and over almost to the other side. And he's got a little curve on the end of his mouth there, the little edge of his mouth where he's grinning. He's coming up with some kind of an evil plan to get the Krabby Patty formula, of course. And then his teeth, he's got, there's, I believe, 1, 2, let's see, 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to split that right in half. So we can see the top row and bottom row of his beautiful white teeth. And his legs are really simple. It's 2 little, little stumps. And then we're going to erase the lines inside there and inside there, just so they look like they're attached to the body a little bit more. And he's got his hands on his hips. So what we'll do is we're going to come over here, I would say right about at the bottom of the eye. Right? And I'm going to go down on a slant. And then I'm going to come back and curl around the outside. And then I come on top of that and go around down, little skinny arms. And that just curls to, he doesn't really have fingers, so. And I'm going to erase that little line right there so it looks like it's attached to his body. The other side, sort of the same thing. They don't have to look exactly the same. So I'm going to go out, in, and then curl around. And then above it, out, in. And that will connect right to his little hand, I guess. I don't know what that is. I guess it's his hand or whatever he has. So his hands are just kind of like curling out, like that. Okay? Now, what kind of background you can have him with his computer wife over on the side or in the Krusty Krab, or you can have him wherever you want. And the only thing we have left are his antennae. So this one over here is going to attach to his head, kind of go up and curl up a little bit. You can make these as long as you want. They start out a little bit wider at the bottom, thinner at the top. Actually, that might be too wide. There we go. And on this side, it actually starts inside his head. I'm actually going to eat that line. I'm going to keep this line. I'm going to erase. Again, I just made it too wide. I don't know why I did that. The antennas are not very wide at all. And then they've got these little details. They're like little rectangles colored in black. There's like 4 on each side. There you go. Ta-da! And as far as the colors, if you'd like to color them in, of course, you can Google them. You don't want to do that. I got a picture here for you. So you can see that his whole body is green, kind of like a lighter green. And then his antennas are a little bit darker green. Then the eyebrow, of course, and that little wrinkle on top of his head is black. His teeth are white. And you can see that the pupil part of his eye is red. And then the reflection is white. And then around the pupil, the white of the eye, I guess you'd call it, is actually yellow in this picture. So it's white on the inside, red around it, and the rest of the eye is yellow. And he's light green, and his antennas are dark green. Ta-da! Very good. I like Plankton. He's funny. Take care, 3rd grade, and I will see you soon right back here in my basement. We'll see you later. Stay safe, guys.